In a town called Ihitenu, a hard-working palm wine tapper named Okonkwo married his first wife, Akuoye, in the prime of his youth. They lived happily, but as the years passed without a child, pressure from family and villagers mounted. Reluctantly, Akuoye agreed that Okonkwo should take a second wife, Ngbeke, in hopes of securing an heir. Though Ngbeke joined the family, years passed, and she too remained childless. Fortunately, this did not disrupt the peace in the household. Akuoye was a diligent farmer, while Ngbeke thrived as a trader. The women coexisted, each minding their own business until one fateful day when Akuoye discovered she was pregnant. Months later, Akuoye gave birth to twin boys, bringing immense joy to Okonkwo. The family celebrated, and their household brimmed with happiness. However, beneath Ngbeke's cheerful facade, envy festered. She resented Akuoye and the twin boys, whom she saw as a threat to her position in the family. With each passing day, her jealousy twisted into something dark and sinister. One market day, Akuoye, overwhelmed with caring for her newborns, couldn't go to the market herself. She asked Ngbeke for a favor, to buy foodstuff for making okra for Okonkwo's return. Unbeknownst to Akuoye, Ngbeke had already devised a sinister plan. That very night, she visited her witch coven, where she poisoned the foodstuff, intending to wipe out Akuoye, the twins, and the husband, claiming all their wealth for herself. Fate, however, had other plans. Too exhausted to cook, Akuoye asked her husband to dine at Ngbeke's chamber instead. Okonkwo, understanding her struggles, went to Ngbeke's quarters. Shocked and nervous, Ngbeke hesitated before finally serving him the meal. That night, as darkness cloaked the village, the unthinkable happened. A strange bird's cry echoed through the air, a haunting, sorrowful sound. From the kitchen, the okra on a tray responded in a deep, ghostly voice. Eat me, eat me, eat me, and die. Akuoye, startled, inched closer to the tray in the kitchen. The bird called again. The okra answered once more, sending chills down her spine. Terrified, she roused Okonkwo, who hurriedly joined her. Where did you get this okra from? He demanded. Akuoye, still shaken, replied, Ngbeke bought it from the market. A cold realization swept over Okonkwo. He stormed into Ngbeke's chamber, knocking furiously until she finally opened the door. Where did you get the okra? He demanded. Feigning innocence, Ngbeke shrugged. The market, of course. Why does it matter? Just then, the eerie bird's cry pierced the night again, and the okra spoke once more. Eat me, eat me, eat me, and die. Caught in her lie, Ngbeke's face twisted with fear. Okonkwo's eyes burned with anger as he realized the depths of her treachery. Unable to contain her bitterness any longer, Ngbeke lashed out. Am I Akuoye's maid? Must I fetch her food just because she bore twins while I remain childless? Her words confirmed what Okonkwo already suspected. Her happiness had been a mask, her kindness a lie. The next morning, Okonkwo took the matter to the king. Ngbeke, full of deceit, denied the accusations. However, the wise king, sensing the gravity of the situation, devised a test. Tonight, we shall gather at the palace. Bring the okra. Let us see if it speaks. That night, the village assembled at the palace, anticipation heavy in the air. The king and his chiefs sat in silence, waiting. Some villagers struggled to stay awake. Then, at the stroke of midnight, the bird cried once more. The okra, now in the presence of the king, responded in a chilling whisper, Eat me, eat me, eat me, and die. Gasps filled the air as fear gripped the villagers. There was no denying it now. Ngbeke had used dark magic. The king's piercing gaze settled on her. "Speak the truth," he commanded. Tears streamed down Ngbeke's face as she fell to her knees. "I was desperate. I was supposed to bear Okonkwo children, but I never conceived. Then Akuoye gave birth to twins. I was consumed by jealousy. I just wanted them gone." Her confession sealed her fate. The king, disgusted by her wickedness, passed judgment. "Ngbeke, you are hereby banished from Ihitenu, never to return." But just as the guards approached to seize her, the eerie bird let out another shriek. Suddenly, Ngbeke's body convulsed violently, her eyes rolling back as she let out a piercing scream. The villagers recoiled in horror as her skin darkened, and her fingers elongated into twisted, claw-like appendages. The elders gasped. Ngbeke was not just a jealous woman. She had been practicing forbidden witchcraft for years. The spirits she once called upon now came to claim her. A powerful gust of wind roared through the palace, snuffing out the torches. The only light remaining came from the okra, which now pulsed with a sinister glow. Ngbeke's shrieks turned to guttural wails as an unseen force dragged her toward the glowing okra. The villagers screamed, some running for shelter, while others watched in morbid fascination. With one final deafening cry, Ngbeke's body was consumed by darkness. The glow of the okra flickered and died. Silence fell over the palace, but the horror was not yet over. That night, Okonkwo and Akuoye returned home, exhausted yet relieved. They put the twins to sleep and lay in silence, but deep in the night, the eerie bird called again. Akuoye's breath hitched as she sat up, listening. From outside, the voice of Ngbeke whispered, "I am not gone. I am waiting." Okonkwo bolted upright, his heart pounding. He rushed outside, but there was nothing, only the night wind rustling through the trees. The next morning, strange footprints were found near the doorstep, too long and clawed to belong to any human. The village remained on edge, for though Ngbeke had been swallowed by darkness, the spirits had not confirmed if a curse had been lifted. Elders warned that envious hearts leave shadows that never truly fade. The tale of Ngbeke became legend, and to this day, in the town of Ihitenu, the villagers warn their children. Beware the whispering wind. Beware the okra that speaks. And most of all, beware the ghost of Ngbeke, who still roams on moonless nights, seeking revenge.